Took me a second. Okay, here we go. Welcome to the
Kiki
and Cowboy. I'm never going to do it. Welcome to the Misadventures of
Kiki
and Cowboy. This is our, I think, 18th or 19th episode. Who's counting?
Wow.
This guy. I'm pointing two thumbs at myself. Who has two thumbs and is counting?
That guy?
That guy. Well, I guess it's this guy.
I was going to say this guy, but then I'm like, wait.
So Kiki has decided to play a mystery.
Yes. So
she's not going to tell me what.
So I'm going to see if you can guess what we're going to talk about.
All right.
Because I have started to accumulate a list of
misadventures
of intro topics where I like to derail you from whatever topic we were supposed to talk about.
Underailable, unflappable, if you will.
Unflappable.
Yes. Others know me as such.
Yeah, I've seen you. I'm pretty sure you flap a lot.
I shan't be flapped.
I don't know if that's true.
Standing at the precipice, gazing upon the madness.
I mean, that does help you
shan't be
being married to me, but I don't know that unflappable is exactly.
I can be a curmudgeon. I can be a...
Oh, I don't know that you're curmudgeon-y.
No.
I don't know that you're curmudgeon. But anyway, I digress, as I do usually.
Let's get on with the show.
So
That's
normally...
why everybody's here today.
Normally, when we start the show, I throw out a little warm-up topic for us before we get into the meat and potatoes.
Cue the cows.
And as the cows... I don't understand.
They're very popular among our test audience.
I don't think they are. I don't think you tested among anybody.
Well, when I'm listening,
Is that it?
Love it.
You love it. You're the test audience.
I'm playing them now. Listen to the cows as a herd.
No, I can't
so many.
stand it.
Yeah, there's literally like 300 cow individual.
Just so everybody here knows, in his brain, the cows is because they're moving on to the topic, and therefore the mooing.
Yeah.
As I have,
it's a bovine segue.
As I have, gently said to you after some of your dad jokes, if you have to explain how funny it is,
it makes it funnier for the person doing the explaining.
So I was writing out
and makes others cringe, which
I was
also
writing
adds
out
to the fun.
A recent misadventure of ours, and I started putting them down for the intro as kind of a welcome warm up topic.
So you got a sidebar,
and the sidebar grew. And now I think it just belongs to be its own full show.
So
no
it sounds
sidebar.
like Kiki's gonna splinter off for her own solo episodes.
Maybe I might be forced to.
Yeah, maybe so. You're gonna have your own merch line.
So
I'd buy it. I would
would
totally
you?
buy it.
Will you buy it?
Oh, of course I'd buy something.
Of course you would.
I'd buy it for you.
Yeah, you'd buy my own merch for me.
Yeah, I bought your merch for you because purple's not my color. So look out for Kiki merch in the future. Yeah.
Yes. So I think this falls into the category of annoying the fuck out of each other.
Ah, yes.
That's going to be the broad umbrella.
Have we done that? Have we done that to each other?
Us?
Never.
So
I'm recalling.
I'm going to ask you to insert like little harp music where we go back in time.
Future cowboy who's editing this.
Yeah, do
that.
The
I think we have that on
sound,
here.
whatever that is.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I got you. Here we go.
There you are. That only I can hear it right now, but it helps.
Pretend.
So
let's pretend it's not cows.
I will be curious to see what the title actually becomes of the podcast in the description, but I'm going to just loosely call it Pokemon Pouting.
Pokemon Pouting. That's good. How's that a sidebar? That's a whole episode.
That's what I'm saying. I was started out as a sidebar, and then it just grew.
It sounds like our love.
Yeah, like ya ding dong.
Yes.
If you haven't watched that
Eurovision,
you're missing out, people.
Definitely play the soundtrack. Start with ya ding dong.
And you got to start with ya ding dong. So. If we were to, as we did with the little harp, go back in time a little bit, I know. I would say it was almost exactly a week ago.
Ooh.
Almost exactly a week ago.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
My beloved cowboy.
Oh, we're going to have to. It's confession time.
Yes.
I have a lot of vices.
Do you?
Yeah. For like holding metal and bending things in the garage.
Like a table vice?
Yeah, where one keeps, like a...
or an edelweiss?
Yes, or little flowers, little white German flowers. In the garage where you keep all your vices. No, I have other vices, the naughty kind.
Yes.
Not so naughty. Actually,
I was going to say.
It starts with an N, but it rhymes with dirty, but it's nerdy.
It's nerdy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not dirty.
Yeah, Cowboy's got I'd say the freak flag equivalent of a nerd flag.
So picture it, if you will.
Yes, envision
my cowboy in all of his cowboy attire, sitting atop his misadventure motorcycle.
Yep, looking all cool.
Looking so hot.
Svelte.
Looking cool.
Yeah. Probably sweating, actually.
Engine running. Phone in hand.
Occasional revving.
As he is stopped at the
virtual,
local, I don't know what to call that.
It's like a walking mall kind of thing.
Yes, kind of a local walking place. And music playing, by the way, loudly from the speakers, which I think was...
Skynyrd or Metallica.
Okay, something like that. So I want you to picture this entire thing. And then on his phone is...
Pokémon Go, the app. Not the cards. I don't mess with that trash. I have standards. So yes, Cowboy has a serious Pokemon Go affliction.
So my motorcycle.
I'm not ashamed of it. I'm actually almost proud of it.
My motorcycle riding.
If you're not doing it, you're missing out. If you're not playing
Metallica listening,
Anywhere I roam,
playing Pokemon.
I throw a Pokemon ball at the. I'm working on the rhymes.
If I recall from the story that you said for that particular instance, you were sitting there jamming out, playing Pokemon, and you were approached.
I was
by a woman.
She was inebriated. It was in the evening. She walked up to me, and I'm just sitting there jamming, obviously looking amazing. Look, I have a helmet on. I could have been anybody. And she walks up and she said, "Are you my Uber?" She didn't sound at all like that. But and I just looked at her like I had this. You ever get that your nerves react to where you're looking at somebody like, "Are you stupid?" Like you get like a face cramp because it's such an absurd thing. And so she's and I was like, no, I was really taken aback because I'm trying to catch a Pokemon here. He's
busy.
like, you're disturbing. My question is,
Zen. How many Ubers has this person caught?
Zero.
That would be on a motorcycle with Metallica jamming out at the top of.
What kind of life? I think we really need to investigate what kind of life that person's living.
That's got to be fascinating. Honestly, now I am intrigued. I mean, your Uber does provide a license plate and a description of the vehicle.
Yes.
Which, to my knowledge, has always been a car.
I'll be on a gold wing with an extra seat, no helmet for you, by the way.
And it's not
Let's
like...
hope we're not taking you to the airport.
Thank God you didn't come and pick me up from the river when I was trying to put my giant inflatable inner tube in some guy's car. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, I would have just pulled out a knife and deflated that real quick. That's not coming with us. You just lost your $25 deposit.
I just would have held it on top of my head.
I would deflate it, roll it into a flag. Shove it under your arm. That's the only way you're getting back to the Star Lady.
Yes.
Yeah, previous episode, there's a whole bunch of that.
Yeah,
so
you'll have to go back and listen to
find
that
the one about
anyway.
the flotsam jetsam. I don't know what it was.
I don't remember. It was
something about a river.
It's about the river.
It's about
and
10
whatnot.
episodes back, I think. Where were we? Okay, we want to know. So yes. So I'm scavenger hunting Pokemon on the back of Misadventure.
So we fast forward from that story.
Okay, that happened
to last week.
That was like a year ago.
Well,
last week, yes.
To last week.
So Cowboy discovered that there is a whole Pokemon Go community. It's been around forever. So it's kind of like Columbus discovering America. It's been there. But
you discovered it.
Stick a flag in anyway for the heck of it and brag to your friends.
Not only did you discover that there's a Pokemon community, but you recruited me into said.
Well, you didn't refuse. Number
event.
One. Two. Now everybody who listens knows that Cowboy likes to hang out with Kiki. So if I'm going to do something, I'd like Kiki to be there in most cases. So unless it's personal or embarrassing, and then especially then, absolutely then.
Well, then I'm absolutely in.
Then she's in. So I find that there's a Pokemon Go event, and it's a community
event happening.
A community event where they're going to go around and
a week ago in the evening at
a local park.
At a local park.
Yep. And so essentially, I've never been to any. Who has, right? I had never been to one. And which is
quite shocking, really, given your Pokemon acumen and the fact that you
acumen's
have been,
a strong word for someone who just presses little buttons on a screen.
You've been endeavoring for easily
I've been pretty loyal to playing this little thing, this game every day
to get to a certain level.
And almost level 39. Thank you.
I know, almost level 39.
And each level is like an exponential increase. It's not like 1 then 2. It's like 1 and 9 kind of exponent. Yeah.
So you're saying there's longer distances between
much longer distances.
Each leveling up.
The XP experience, if you will, is what you need to get to the next level.
So you were a little not concerned. You were a little nervous about what this event was going to be like.
And the type of people that would be there.
Who was going to be there. How many people would be there.
Well, there were 150-something registered, which blew my mind.
So we pull up.
We did.
And at first glance, we look
saw
around
pockets of people.
And I would say at first glance, it was as I expected. There were some adults that looked like probably parents with some younger kids of varying age.
We're like 10 years old.
And quite honestly, people...
It seemed like a family thing.
It's pretty easy to spot most of these Pokemon adventurers, I think is what they like to be called.
by their Crocs and their T-shirts.
Well, no, because they have, you're
Pokemon
at a park
attire.
And no, I wasn't even going to say that. They have a phone in their hand.
In their face. And they're walking around touching it.
So, I kind of took a guess like, okay, those look like, and then we look over to, I think they said we're meeting by the bulletin board. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, there is quite a diverse group of people.
Menagerie of all types of people. You've got different ethnicities. You've got all age groups, genders.
Yes.
Everybody's there.
It was a really diverse group of people.
And the average was a lot higher age than you think. I would say the average is
average age was
probably 30s.
Upper
30s.
Yeah. I mean, no, I don't know if we were on the top end of it.
Well, yeah, we were in the top. Yeah, I'd say there were probably.
But we were not the oldest people there.
There were probably 25 people there that might have been older than us.
I would say maybe the 30s. Maybe that makes sense, right? Because when Pokemon first came out, Pokemon Go, I'm talking about, right?
2016, the summer of 2016.
How old? I mean, that was nearly 10 years ago. So if you reverse. Everybody by 10 years, right? Your kids were really active in Pokemon.
They were.
And that's really where it comes from for you.
Now they're early
Like
20s. Yes,
you played with them
With the kids.
heavily.
Yep,
You have really fond memories of doing that
It's a
with
great
them.
time. Yep.
In fact, they still play to some degree
little tiny bit.
in college.
Yep.
As they are crossing campus or doing whatnot,
betcha.
right?
Yep.
And so I guess if you think for those 30-year-olds, they were likely in college at the same
When it
age that
came
your
out.
kids are now.
Yep.
And so, still
just
enjoying
continued,
it, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
still playing.
The community's grown,
It's, it's almost
the
gotten to the
engagement
point where it's surprising when young kids are in it, which seems funny because when you say Pokemon Go, I think most people think, oh, it's school age,
Some animated card game
elementary,
thing. Yeah, where you
elementary
collect
age
cards.
kids.
Yeah.
But with the number of adults that we've seen, I'm actually noticing more when there are kids
Right.
because I'm
there's-
like,
it's majority
wow,
adults.
it's a lot of adults.
Because there's so many different there are so many aspects of this game. It's collecting all these things. It's collecting points. It's the different levels of gamification, so it appeals to everybody.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of gaming person you are.
It really does encourage you to get outside and
yes.
get moving. So you cannot collect collect points while you're
You
driving
can't really
a
be
car.
sedentary. Yeah,
And you
gotta
can't
move.
be sedentary too much because you can get a few things, and then it
then
kind
that's
of
it.
dries up. Like
Yep.
you have to literally be physically moving for
A big
for
part of the
these
game is being on the
Pokemon
move.
to appear.
Yeah,
really,
literally,
and
it's like a treasure hunt all the time.
so we arrive at this very first event that we've not been to.
Lots of
any,
questions.
Any similar event. We have lots of questions,
Lots of
or
questions
at least
and
one of us has lots of questions.
Latched
The
on
other
to
one
some
is
people who could.
the other one of us is along for the ride.
Yes, Kiki was along for the ride. Cowboy had lots of questions because again,
There are Pokemon ambassadors.
there. Who are walking around handing out these cards that have these special codes because in order to do this thing that we're doing, which is
Raid passes.
we need raid passes.
I don't really know what these
Yeah.
are, but I know that they're a thing.
They're a thing because you can only get one a day otherwise, and so we got 4.
And so we're supposed to, as we arrive, and we kind of are getting this introduction from a couple of the more well-versed folks and the ambassador
Yep.
himself.
with lots of questions.
We
All hail the ambassador.
we find out that we need to team up.
Yep.
And so you can have a team of 4.
Right.
I'm still not really clear
The
on
raids will allow
on
to 20, but
what the teaming does. But okay,
you get bonus points
I'm
as
like,
a team when you
fine.
work together.
Oh, okay, okay, so there you go.
That's part of the gaming thing is you work as a team.
And so we're there, and I have my husband has informed me previously to this
Yes.
that he did me a kindness and
I thought.
created a character for me.
Well,
and
no, I didn't create it. It was actually
that was how I
it was
understood
my daughter's
the
account that had been
story.
active since 2016, and I'd kept playing it just to keep leveling
Just
it
to
up.
keep it level.
But since she has no interest,
Yes.
my son is still playing. But
I don't know that was exactly how it was explained to me when I first understood this. So I log into this account thinking that it is my account.
well,
that
it was
my
in its
beloved
infancy until I
had-
took it back over.
Yes,
and yes,
that my beloved had created
that's-
for me.
Oh, so I just learned a thing, everybody. She was upset because apparently I had misled her, thinking that I'd created an account from scratch. That was for her. I didn't realize that's what you thought. It was.
I found it a little bit revelatory that this character I was inheriting
Yes.
a character, and I am very adamant.
That explains the attitude.
I'm very adamant about I want to do it on my own.
Yes, she does.
If you knew 3-year-old Kiki, then you would have heard, no, I can do it by myself. You're not the boss of me.
Yes.
Those are probably the
that's-
key
yeah.
words I think my mother would say that Kiki, a young Kiki,
Yes, you're
would have
correct.
said. So we're there.
So
We're
that
playing.
with that context, armed with that context, now I realize why Kiki was walking kind of far behind of us.
No, I was
Wasn't
walking at my.
terribly engaged.
No, I was doing my thing. I was still. You have to remember though, I was learning quite a bit because
You
I
were.
didn't know very much.
Yep.
And
You learned quite quickly.
I didn't. I find it a little challenging to walk at the brisk pace while looking at one's phone and not tripping on anything while we're walking through the park.
It's a skill and a gift I've honed over some time.
We have to team up and
move together.
Cowboy is stuck with Kiki, so we're already a team of two. We're looking around, and this bright, shining, I would dare say, like apple-faced.
Yeah, these two kids, basically. They're
kids,
late teens. Or mid-teens.
Actually.
I'm pretty sure neither of them had a driver's license.
It might not even be 16 yet. Yeah. Maybe 15, 16
but
years old.
But at my age, I've been deceived by, some of the people I've worked with. They're in their 20s and they look like they're 12.
Our age,
everybody under 30 looks like they're 15.
Anybody 20 and under,
definitely 25 and under,
kind of all look the same age until you get to about middle school and elementary.
They
like they look like children,
versus
right?
Kids,
versus
So
teens, or young adults.
These two young men. They saw that we were lost,
and they offered to be
to team up with us. To be our quad.
And so they introduced
Which I'm actually
us.
very grateful because they had lots of knowledge.
They did, and they're very sweet. And we spent a couple of hours.
We did, and we probably walked 4 miles.
Around, I don't know if it was that far, but we did. We did walk a lot.
We walked all over the place.
Cowboy led us astray for a portion of that.
Well, there was a gym over there as it turns out, the only way to attack these creatures is you got to have about 20 people to bring them down because their point level is too high. And I saw a place over there where nobody was going. Well, it turns out nobody was going there because they were going after the bigger ones. And since there were only 4 of us, we walked over there, only have to walk right back. Yes. And I felt bad.
We had to do off-terrain hiking through through the grass around this little pond.
As opposed to the path. We went off the beaten path.
So
Emerson
Cowboy had a great time at this community event. We come home, and he's like,
invigorated.
Wow,
I learned so much.
Such a good time. And Cowboy had put himself on restriction from Pokemon up until about that event.
Yeah.
Maybe just recently, actually. You hurt your back recently, and I think when you were, kind of injured and laid up, you were bored out of your mind, which is understandable.
There's only back up again.
So much TV you can watch, and you did play some Pokemon.
And with encouragement from Kiki, because she's like, you shouldn't stop doing things that you enjoy.
I 100% am
unless they're harmful, and it's not harmful.
Yeah. And this is not. So you come back, you are just like raring to go. I
learned so much.
Super excited.
Had fun, got a little exercise in.
All sorts of new creatures that he had not seen before, which was really fun for him.
If I was curating a zoo, I'd have a whole new wing.
So I think it was like the very next morning. I wake up, he's an early riser, and I wake up and I'm getting text messages from him. Did you see my invite? Did you see the calendar? Did you see this?
I found 2 more events.
And so he already, had researched more events. And so let's fast forward to this past weekend.
Yes.
So the first event...
Not even a week later.
Not even a week. Just a couple of days later, we go for event number 2. Now, event number 1 was marked, as Cowboy was describing it, as particularly when we got home, a pouty Kiki.
Yes.
Because I don't like taking the accomplishments of others.
Right. Since I'd given her that inherited account.
Getting a leg up. I didn't collect those Pokemon.
She wanted to start from the beginning.
I wanted to start from the beginning. And so I don't tell Cowboy, and I create my own account just from scratch.
Yeah.
And of course, Cowboy was grimacing because he had lost out on all sorts of
when you
extra
refer
points.
Another person, both you and said person get all kinds of perks, which we missed out on. However, Kiki did have the benefit of setting up her own account.
I did.
And you go in and you customize your character and make it look somewhat like you.
I made it however I wanted.
She did.
So fast forward to the weekend. We're going to event number 2. And these gatherings, they have an official start time to them. And I noticed at the last gathering, we arrived pretty promptly on time, and we were still a little early. And so we stood around for, I don't know, a fair amount of time. It might have been about 30 minutes before we really started doing anything and getting teamed up and doing all of the adventures that we did that day. So, he sends me this meeting notice for like 2:00 in the afternoon, but it said it was like an event from like 2 to 5. So we're talking like 3 hours. So we're getting ready. Of course, I ask my beloved what time I need to be ready to go. And big shocker, I'm not ready to go when it's time. So he very patiently waits for me. We get in the car. We're driving to the event. It is crystal clear to the both of us. We are not going to be there at the official start time, but we're going to be there within about 30 minutes of the start time.
So here's something about Cowboy.
I'm a little relaxed about that.
For things that are important to me exclusively, I really like to be on time or early. And here's why. Because this was a different type of event than the other one.
That is true.
And I didn't know what was going to go on, but I also have a affinity for swag. Free crap, throw it in a bag, give it to me. I'll take it home and probably throw it away. But I love me some free swag.
He loves that.
And
that is his love language.
From reading the description is
crap
that they were
swag is your love language.
Yes, crap swag. Give me the crap. Give me it. Put it in a bag and give it to me. And so I knew by going early, we might get little pins and other crap that we will put in a drawer.
Oh, and put in a drawer and never look at it
wristbands
again.
and stuff like that. But
plastic jelly wristbands.
Yes.
I mean, how could we do without?
Yes, I know. It eventually ends up in the ocean.
Yes.
And however,
so
I was frustrated because I was concerned there would be instruction and other knowledge we'd miss out on.
Yes.
So I was a little pouty.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Kiki. I was pouty.
You don't need to apologize.
I even turned the car around.
I didn't apologize for being pouty.
I turned the car around and said, I just don't want to go now. It's kind of lost its.
I think it was. Late. I likened this very much to when you're going on a long road trip with your parents and you're acting up in the back seat and they're like, we're just going to turn this car around. That's it. Yep. And that is exactly what Cowboy did. We're not going. We're going to go home and we're just going to.
Clearly wasn't important to you.
We're going to sit there and think about what we've done.
I'm going to pout and just stare at you. And she knows how to push my buttons and flip the switches correctly. So she encouraged and said, we're just going to go and we'll find a way to have fun.
What's the worst that's going to happen? We're going to show up. We're going to drive 30 minutes to someplace we didn't need to be today, show up at the wrong time.
Which we did.
And miss everyone and waste all of our time. What else would we be doing today?
Turns out we got there, yes, and it was a completely disorganized mess.
They told us to go to the wrong place to start,
others,
but we did. We found the group.
And we walked a mall capturing, playing all sorts of little games on using this app and with competing against other people. But we walked 6 miles. I think. I thought we walked a 10K.
Well, we walked 10,000 steps.
Yeah. Just walking.
Well, I guess that would be a 10K.
10,000 something. But long story short, like the mall was this long, like a giant letter C, and you'd walk the bottom floor and then go up the escalator, walk the top floor and repeat. And I think we did it 5 times at least. I
lost count of the number of times that we walked from one end of the mall to the other end of the mall with very infrequent breaks, I would say. We paused a few times here and there.
We're capturing a creature called the Cyndaquil.
Yes, I have no idea.
It looked like a duckbill platypus, and there were thousands of them.
I guess it did. I thought it looked a little bit like a ferret.
Ferret. Yeah,
a mix. So
without the duckbill.
We show up. we, eventually find the group. We just ask enough questions. We just kind of started randomly approaching people in the mall, asking anybody who had a phone that looked like they might possibly look like they. Do you know anything
one
about
glance
Pokemon?
at their phone, it's pretty obvious. One, that they're let's say there's a stereotype. Maybe we're not it, but there is a stereotype of a Pokemon Go person.
I would dare say we must be because we're there.
We're there, but also a person holding their phone close and they're constantly touching their phone, and they're clearly not talking on their phone.
Yes, they're clearly not talking on their phone, and they're looking up and down and looking everywhere.
Yeah,
what
and
I
have a
thought,
weird grin of excitement on their face.
What I thought was hilarious is we finally get there. Now, granted, we're late, but
not a big deal.
But Cowboy is now feeling much calmer about everything now that we've found all new ambassadors, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, whole new community. Actually, it was a mix of two different communities.
It was two different communities, and
more people.
Who do we see?
One of the kids,
but one of the kids from the
previous event,
Yeah. A couple of days before. Now, I'll tell you, he had every opportunity in the world
to escape us,
to duck and cover.
Ignore us.
We would not have seen him.
Yep.
And he could have just kind of
walked away,
or at least avoided us and let us kind of go off on our way because we were about to walk away. Mm-hmm. But no, what we hear from,
I called out his name.
He looks up and he's like, Cowboy!
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He's like,
I was like, dude.
Wondering if we were going to see you here.
Yeah.
And I brought a new friend, and he has a new friend
a different friend than the previous time.
Yes.
And we teamed up.
And he asked us if he wanted to team up.
Except for Kiki had created a brand new account.
There was a little bit of a problem.
She was too new to team up.
So
we had to find a fourth.
I lost all of my friends.
She was literally the fifth wheel.
We ended up teaming up with somebody else. They ended up teaming up with some other random person.
The gaming vernacular is a rando.
Is it a rando? Okay, that's great to know. And I literally was the fifth wheel. How lame am I that I'm there for a Pokemon event. I don't have enough status or gameplay to actually participate. And so I have to tag along. I was like...
You were missing out on some serious XP
I was
and
like
bonus
the
points.
little sister getting dragged along behind the teenage grown-up kids.
We'd all look at each other and go, she's still back there.
She's still there.
Yeah, look like that group look over our shoulder.
And this time, I really did get left behind. They did not slow down for me much. They were off, and I was just kind of... No, I got to say, I perused a couple of window shopping opportunities at the mall while we were going, but I didn't do very much.
As one does when in Rome.
But I thought that was really justice a little bit, revenge maybe that I missed out, and I didn't get to participate, but that's fine.
But you will.
I didn't want to anyway.
Yep. There's
whatever.
There's always a next chance.
Yes. So
was a little less than a month. There's another big event.
We stayed till the end of the event.
We did because that's where they had a raffle.
A big raffle.
There was a raffle,
and we said it was at a mall, and they held this raffle in the food court. There was a fair number of people who were still hanging around. Oh yeah. 3 hours
bunch of swag hacks
later,
like me. Just
absolutely
give me the free crap.
And the
prizes, some of the prizes were actually had a dollar value to them.
Yeah, they had some neat prizes, I did get a I felt badly for a couple of the little kids who wanted desperately something, but they
gave out
did
pins.
They did actually give out a few little things. The part that cracked me up though. Is, we do all of our Pokemon hunting. We come back and we're waiting for the raffle. And we see our little
our friends, our newfound friends.
Our little friend.
Our fast friends.
And and this young woman,
Yes, she is younger than us.
this young woman walks up to him
Yeah.
and they're talking, and then she sits down and she's got
a tween.
a tween
Sitting
with
with
her,
her,
and I'm looking at
daughter.
her. They're all sitting together, and I'm thinking, that the tween looks like maybe she's the younger sister
of
the kid
of
who
this
was,
dude, yeah.
hanging out with us.
He did say about halfway through, he's like, my mom's coming. I want you to meet my mom. And I was like, oh, God. And so when mom arrived, and mom is probably 10 years younger than us.
Oh, easily.
I'm pretty sure.
I think she might be 20 years younger
No,
than us.
if he's 15, she needs to be.
She was young enough that I was questioning if she might be his
big sister.
Significantly older sister, but
yeah.
like where there would be a significant age gap.
But that was mom.
But I was looking at her, and then it was hilarious
that means
because
he's probably 14.
because
We're hanging out with a couple 14-year-olds who are schooling us on how this game is played.
Oh my gosh.
And leaving us in the dust.
so embarrassing.
Along with our
What was
rando.
great is like we're sitting in the food court directly across from each other. We're at one table, they're at a table facing us, and they're sitting side by side with each other.
Typical family.
We're sitting
shoulder to
side
shoulder.
by side, right? And I'm trying to surreptitiously look at her to kind of be
assess
like,
her age.
how old is she? Yeah. And I'm quickly assessing that she is a lot younger
She's mid-30s.
than I am.
Yeah.
A lot younger, which by the way, is when I said that to Cowboy, he immediately was like, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's a lot younger than you. I think that's exactly what. Oh, yeah. She's a lot
Oh,
younger.
yeah. She's a lot.
She's a lot
And I was
younger.
like, thank you for the emphasis on the quick agreement.
No question.
You could have debated that for a second there, dear.
There is no question.
There could have been well, I don't know. You look awfully young. No, there wasn't any of that. There was just like, oh, there's no doubt. You're her grandma.
Yeah, I'd walked a mall for 3 hours. My filter or anything was gone.
Oh my gosh. But so we're sitting there. Like I said, I'm surreptitiously
Done that
trying
since I was a
to
teenager.
assess how young she is, because she really did look very young. And
Early 30s.
I think she becomes at some moment aware, and I don't know
That you're staring at her?
No. But that I don't know if he says to her like, hey, these are my friends that I've been playing with, or what. But she
It's like, holy shit. Those old people.
She kind of looks up and looks across this short distance.
you know, she's telling her family. So get this. So my son befriends these old nerdy people who look like that. He's just like,
Look like that.
yeah, it's like,
And I mean,
what is going on?
I'm just picturing. I know. I mean, we've both raised teenagers. We have 6 of them.
Yes, between
We've
us.
been through it multiple times, and we know what it's like, right? So I can just hear in my head that she is lamenting to her own friends, like, my son just won't come out of his room. He won't hang out with us. He thinks we're lame. And then she is like eye to eye with 2 50-year-olds.
that he's hanging out with.
Actively hanging out with, because he had the opportunity to pair
Totally
up with
ditch
anybody.
us. Could have
and
ditched
he
us.
was like,
and we would have understood and applauded him probably for
we
making
didn't-
good choices.
We did not ask to pair up, and he's the one who's like, Cowboy,
Hey,
Kiki,
yeah.
hey, I was wondering if I was going to see you guys. And then it really cracked me up because
Oh, boy.
Cowboy didn't pick up on this. But we're before we met up with his mom. still had to
It's
laugh
so
at
weird.
that.
I've got a friend and his
This is mom.
his mom.
I want you to meet my mom. And that's so cute. How adorable is that?
That's
I want
pretty-
you to meet my mom.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I want him to meet my mom. That'll freak my mom out.
At some point, we're chasing Pokemon, and he's just like, no, he's all about like Cowboy. He's like I'm the little sister, like I said, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't care
No, we're
anything about like
there
whatever.
are these special kinds. We're trying to catch those. We're busy.
And his
messing around.
level's pretty close to yours. He's a little bit higher than you, but not by much. And I think he's like a 39, and you're like a 38.
I gotta go find him.
Oh no, I've looked. I think he's higher than you are.
Can't be.
I know.
I
know. I'm just telling you.
Anyway,
I think his skill set. Anyway,
you might be right.
He looks at Cowboy at one point, and he does it pretty slyly. Like he was pretty smooth with it, and he's like, so Cowboy, you wanna give me your phone number? Like we'll exchange phone numbers.
We'll exchange. He's level 34. I'm a 38.
Oh, you beat him.
Take that, you.
Take that, you
wholesome teenager.
Bopper. You did and he is the most
His
wholesome
knees are still
looking
intact. Yeah.
teenager. I mean, he
His
looks
bones
like
don't creak when he walks.
He looks like apple pie and like Wonder Bread all mixed up together. He's got like those little cherub cheeks, and he's like he's super clean cut, and it was just, I mean, oh my gosh, just the cutest thing. But yeah, it just cracked me up when he was asking Cowboy, could I have your phone number?
And here I am. Because I'm a bit naive to some things. I'm like, sure,
you're like,
sure, kid,
here you go. And then later,
I had no idea.
We get introduced to his mom.
And then I told Kiki on the way home, I was like, yeah, I don't feel right having his phone number now. It's like this is not a thing. It's like of all like my scouting leadership, my radar should have been going off. It's like you never exchange phone numbers with and that was the kind of thing. It's like this is a younger person.
You didn't think you weren't thinking he was a minor
at that time.
You honestly thought he was 18 or older.
Yeah, my radar for how old people are at that we talked about this earlier.
Yeah. At the time that we exchanged phone numbers.
Now I don't have the heart to block his number.
Well, no. Now what do we do? Well, all we have to do is call his mom and just tell her that.
But so here's the catch-22. Hey kid, can you give me your mom's number? That's not a thing. That's not a thing. That can't happen. Be sure to give me your mom's. There's so much wrong. But what I'm not going to do is respond to him unless it's directly Pokemon related, and it's if we're going to an event.
Well, it'll be fine.
There's no other conversation that would happen.
No, but what it was very sweet though,
but it makes me laugh because there's a chat function in there. Like he can send me messages.
He could totally chat with you. He's still creepy, he's like pro level or something, right? So I mean, he could totally do that.
He's got all the cool perks that.
What was sweet though is these two cherub-faced kids are standing there with us. And I'll tell you, they were our little advocates. Like, they were like, did you get a raffle ticket? Did you make sure you got like they'll handle it. Let me make sure you got a bracelet. Let me make sure you got whatever.
They're like sheepdogs and we're the sheep. We're taking care of these people.
They were just shepherding us everywhere.
Clearly we didn't look like we could fend for ourselves.
Yeah, I think that is absolutely the truth.
They were doing us a kindness.
And so they have these little hopeful, wistful faces with these raffle tickets in hand,
because they got
tightly.
Mom needed them to leave,
and oh my gosh! I mean, poor mom and little sister was like, it's like 5:30 and the raffle is still going, and they're just sitting there.
It was hot in that atrium.
I mean, just the whole thing, right? So the poor kids. Mom comes up, and I just remember being in the days when I was the mom, and I'm like, "Can we please go?
We've got to go.
We've got to.
I don't care about your raffle,
thing that you think is so important,
With this silly game you kids play.
And so they just have these like crushed looks on their faces, and they're just like, but the raffle, we might win something.
We might still win. And then they carefully hand the ticket stuff in a trusting way and say, will you
watch our numbers for us
to let us know if we win?
Let us.
And I'm looking at him, and I'm just like, and they've got this trusting, like, please don't take our prizes. Please. And you could, oh my gosh,
they're just so sweet.
Cut the tension with the knife. And they handed it to us, and then of course none of our tickets won.
No, we texted them and let them know that nothing.
No winners this time.
I just could hear their little hearts breaking. So
I was tempted to say, but I won. Your ticket didn't win, but mine did.
That would be so mean.
No, that's cruel.
That would be so mean.
Didn't want to engage further,
but So anyway, anyway, we're signed up for a couple more events.
Looks like this is the thing we're doing.
Yay!
We're going to Uber drive. We're going to continue with this facade of this badassery on the motorcycle. But meanwhile, we'll be spinning some Pokeball.
I wonder if I can sit on the back of the Goldwing while we're riding, and I can actually spin these things.
Well, you can't once you get above a certain speed. I know some stuff, y'all. But once you get above a certain speed, it won't let you spin.
Oh, look, I just found a Pegasus in front of me.
I'm sure it's not a Pegasus.
Throwing balls and missing. So I've got to say, I'm not terribly into...
You haven't figured out the curveball yet.
I have not figured that out. I can barely throw this stupid ball to begin with, but...
We're going to do a whole nother episode on what...
There's not a lot about the Pokemon that I'm super engaged in, but I am sitting here trying to catch one while I'm talking to you.
Yes. I'm so not engaged that I can't put it down.
I know, I can't put it down. I made the mistake of looking at it because I wanted to see what my
she made the mistake of looking at it because I'm sitting across the audio board from her
playing as well,
doing
right?
The same thing.
We both have
somehow
a problem.
We're still managing to work.
Yeah, so I'm
going to pretend this is
what
work.
I wanted to. The only reason I looked at it was because I wanted to say I am level 18 all by myself. So there.
That's awesome. So a year from now, you might be caught up with me.
Oh, whatever.
I'm telling you that the goalposts keep moving further and further away.
I don't want to play anyway. So I will say though.
Says the level 18.
I know. Okay. Here's the honest truth.
Okay.
I enjoy that you enjoy it.
Yes.
I like spending time with you, and the fact that this is this is one of these things where like I think it's kind of
harmless fun.
No, but I also think it's one of those things that kind of keeps you young at heart.
And it keeps us moving.
And
we did walk.
You're just, I mean, you
10,000 steps in that mall.
Giddy.
And didn't buy anything.
And you're having fun. And I like the collecting
and the Cinnabon
part.
gave us samples.
Oh, I got a free sample from Cinnabon. That's going to help me.
Oh. I'm just saying, we needed the calories at that point.
At that point, we didn't pack food. I mean, I should start doing this like I used to do when I ran races. And carry food and hydration with me.
They really should have had little water tables.
Yeah, no doubt. But I really like the collecting aspect of it. So you get to find that
new and interesting
that part
things.
I didn't enjoy
and ensnare them.
I liked the first event we went to because I got to see all sorts of new Pokemon creatures.
Yep.
The second event we went to, it was a sea of
the Cyndaquils.
Otter ferret looking things that and that's it.
Yeah.
It was just swamped with them. It was kind of like almost looked like your little character was covered in rats. I mean, it was just all over the place.
Many,
and I got so tired of the same stupid thing over and over. And I know that was part of the whole thing, whatever.
You got to catch so many to level up.
But I will say that when miraculously when the event was over, all of a sudden a bunch of new different Pokemon appeared, and that's when I actually enjoyed myself.
Yep.
So I walked 10,000 steps behind you all dragging ass and just kind of like, okay, whatever. But I do like the collecting part of it.
Yeah.
So,
there's
I'll do a little here and there with you.
For everybody. Just depends on what
just to collect and
we're not advocates for. We do not get paid by
Pokemon.
We have no
You
relationship.
wish you did.
I think
you should become an
I'll
ambassador.
do some testing of stuff.
I think we need to have a Kiki and Cowboy Pokemon shirt. Obviously,
Legit.
in the merch store.
Yep.
If you're a Pokemon fanatic, adventurer, what's the word I'm supposed to be using here?
I don't know
a Pokemon goer. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Let us know what's your favorite Pokemon character. I have no idea what mine is.
And if you're Team Valor like us.
Oh, yeah, we are Team Valor, so do let us know.
Kiki wasn't sure if she was going to join. There's 3 faction type things.
I'm not going to be told what to do.
Well, because I told her if she joins Team Valor, then we both get bonus points.
I did. For the record, though, I did hatch a couple of eggs today just because I was walking around. So I'll just say.
Unrelated to Pokemon Go.
No, Pokemon eggs. Pokemon eggs.
And people have. So I apologize for anybody who knows nothing or cares not for Pokemon Go.
I think
this is the Pokemon Go episode.
Based on the title, I would hope that somebody would skip that.
No, I think we're going to mask the title as something about hatching eggs.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hatched an egg.
Ensnaring creatures and hatching eggs.
Okay.
We'll try and make it
Is that
intriguing.
what you're gonna do?
So that if they make it this far,
not Pokemon pouting.
There's nothing left for them.
Yeah, like maybe like lions and tigers and bears, oh my, but like pouting.
But why?
Pouting and snaring and hatching and whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a work in progress.
It is.
So
it's good stuff.
Thanks for listening to us.
You've been listening to the
I don't know where we're
Misadventures
going with
of
this. Kiki
and Cowboy. We'll
and
see
Pokemon.
you and all the little creatures.